nailing this song. It's too CSI. We need more like nature-type music. This is the snowy owl that is invading North America. Kevin Frank has shot that in Barrie, and you guys are all tweeting in as to your spottings, an unusually high amount of spottings. Yeah, so last year this happened as well. So, you know, when this happens, it's called an eruption. When it happens the second year, they refer to it as an echo. So the first question is why is it happening? Well, there has been, and they're a tundra bird, so they're normally found in northern Ontario, northern Quebec, up into Nunavut. They've had a lot of birth population that's happened. So first in northern Quebec 2 years ago, they saw an unprecedented amount of babies. Oh, and then last year in Nunavut, they saw some more babies that happened, and they're basically, they're nomadic. So they're like nomads. So they're going to come down and they're going to look for food. So there's a picture of one right now that we found in York Region. There are some great walks, by the way. It's called Nature's Classroom in York Region, where you can go out and find birds just like that. So that's one of the sightings in York Region. Let's look at a sighting that we saw in Brooklyn, Ontario. They are so beautiful, Frankie. There's one in Kawartha Lake. That one's actually in Brooklyn. There's another one in Lion's Head. So this is showing you just the response that our viewers have given all over the province. This is the same bird in Innisfil that Kevin found. Yeah. If you live in Innisfil, around the 6th line and the 20th side road in Innisfil, this bird has been spotted a ton. He's just been hanging around. The bird in Kawartha is probably one of the camouflages. Isn't that something? Yeah, this is one of the heaviest owls that are out there. The wingspan of this bird, there's up to 5 feet across. Wow. So a huge bird. You know, it's not. You'd think they were nocturnal, like regular owls, but they're not. This is the cool thing. So the cool thing about these types of owls is that they will feed during the day. And this is another one that was in South Barrie. They're really just all about food. And people right now are like, wow, they're in Toronto. There was one spotted on a building in Whitby. There was one in 401 in Derry. Why are they in Toronto? Well, they will. Normally they eat mice and rats and smaller things. They'll eat bunnies. They've also been known to eat raccoons. So there's a lot of food sources that are here. The other concern that you have to have is that if you have a small dog or a cat, very important that you're not allowing them to go out during the day. Yeah. The other downfall of this bird right now is it's causing some problems up at Pearson. There has been several sightings of them up at Pearson. A bird of that size, you're talking a bird that's going to be about this tall. Like its wings can go about this size. Plane engines. So in New York, in LaGuardia, and JFK, they've already had 5 bird hits. 5 of the snowy owls that have hit planes. Oh, man. So there is a full-time staff at Pearson that are managing not only birds, but are managing deer and all the wildlife that's out there. And I was saying, Kevin and I were debating off air. I'm like, but they're so beautiful. They eat rodents. There's lots of rodents. Who cares? He's like, anytime you have an influx of something that's not naturally in its habitat, it disrupts everything else in the ecosystem. So if they're feasting on rodents, the rodents are going to multiply that much faster, and then you're going to have, when they go away, more of an issue. So it sets everything off balance when you introduce a new species. And they've also tracked it. So, you know, when I said that there was a birth population of these birds, why in some years do they have so many? Well, when there's normally a lot of food, they have more babies. Makes sense. So what should happen is the population of these should start to diminish, but they're going to watch it. This is something that's... So the other interesting part of this is we're saying, wow, this is cool for Southern Ontario. Because it's so unusual. Well, but you think about Northern Ontario is really not that far. Kapuskasing, they're normally found up there. Northern Quebec, not that far from us. There's been sightings in Maryland. There's also been sightings as well into Florida. Oh, my gosh. So they are migrating so far south. And people are saying, I was reading that a lot of people want to take pictures and everything because they're so beautiful and it's so rare that you scare them away, and then they may actually starve to death because they're not actually staying there to feast on whatever is there, the prey. They'll find their food. Yeah. They're a very intelligent animal. The cool thing about an owl, just to let you know, in folklore, of course, is always a wise soul. Some of them, there's another owl that we could find in here, too. This one here is the barred owl. This is another one that you would find right around. This is more common in our area. And the other beautiful owl that you would find in Ontario is the great horned owl, which is fantastic. It's so out of like Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings. They're just beautiful. But owls do not have eyes in the back of their head, but they can spin their heads almost 180 degrees.
How wild is that?
Yeah, so
they don't have to check their tailgates. They just go like this.
And I think Kevin Frankish is part owl.
Why?
Because he's always looking in every direction.
Eyes in the back of his head.
Yes,
well played. At Frank Ferragine for more. We're going to keep a watchful eye on
we
these
will.
owls.
We're going to find out where this goes. And a friend of mine, Aileen, who's a biologist who does those nature walks in York Region, is going to keep me updated. So we'll if anything develops out of this, we'll keep you updated.
And you can see from all the tweets and pictures we're getting, they're really everywhere.
Julian still hasn't found one, Bob.
No, poor Jules. He's still on the owl watch. Over to you, Kev.